Morning, folks. I'll just sort Facebook out. This little bloody update. Okay, that's Facebook sorted out. So good morning, folks. How are we all today? Davey's a wee bit out of sorts. Picked up a cold or a flu virus somewhere. Body's sore, wee bit of a headache, stuffed nose, stuffed chest, the usual stuff you get with a cold or a flu. But couple of paracetamol and soldier on. That's what his old troopers do. But in my case, I wasn't a trooper, I was a sapper. Right, okay, let's go on with it, shall we? Good morning, Melanie, first of the Facebookers on the day. As I say, I'm a wee bit out of sorts today. Not in the best of form, but we'll see what we can do, okay. We'll try and keep upbeat, it's only a cold. Right, so it's in the Truck Davy newspaper headline review 04/10/2024. But before we get there, it's Indy Truck Davy put the truck at home in his office in Salisbury in North Lanarkshire, where it is a dull, dreich, damp, drizzly morning. Anyway, 12 degrees. That's the weather forecast for Salisbury, North Lanarkshire. You want to know what the weather's like where you are? Look at your rain, bloody windy. Good morning, Anne. How are you today? Right. First up today, we have the Scottish Daily Fail. I'll stick it up. I'm going to find it. Got a few to put up today. Some of them are interesting. Anyway, the Scottish Daily Fail today. And the Scottish Daily Fail. Why did Newsnight let Amanda make a lurid claim that had already been dismissed by the BBC Strictly inquiry? Don't know a bloody thing about that. But anyway, the main headline is Starmer surrenders. And this is the news that after international pressure, umpteen million bloody court cases, the poor people of the Chagos Islands, who were cleared from the lands in the late 60s and 70s, are no getting their home back. But Mauritius is to take control of the Chagos Islands, so maybe the indigenous people of the Chagos Islands could settle in one of the other islands. Anyway, the Chinese feature heavy in this story, and that is because apparently Mauritius is a friend of China. So the Chinese bogeyman, as I say, features heavily on this one. Now, the UK and the US are keeping Diego Garcia, which is where the military base is, and I think that's only a 50-year lease at this point in time. But as I say, the people who were cleared from Diego Garcia, they're not getting their island back. They're not. But as I say, apparently there's a bit of sushi about it, because Starmer said that when he came to power he would sort this out and that he'd abide by the rulings of the international courts, that the Chagos Islands sovereignty was Mauritius, and it was part of the Mauritius archipelago. So there you go. Right, what's the time scope for us today? Stop sharing that one. But when it comes to this, the indigenous people of Diego Garcia, they're not getting back. They were illegally cleared, and they're not getting to go back. Now, well, the Times leads on. PM defies US to cede Chagos Islands. but he didn't defy the US at all. Apparently the US are quite pleased with the deal because they get to keep the base. The big fear is that China, the economic powerhouse, who has never threatened anybody as far as I know, might build a military base in one of the other Chagos Islands. There you go. The Telegraph has. I'll stick it up. This is going to be the new Brexit, folks. Unfortunately, you're going to have to look at this twat again. I don't know why they keep doing this fucking waste of space column and airtime. He was a bumbling idiot for the day he was born. He was a liar as a journalist. He was a liar as a politician. An absolute failure here, man. Coward to boot. But anyway, Johnston, UK needs referendum on the European Court of Human Rights. They're coming for your human rights, folks. They are coming for your human rights, and this is going to be the Tories' new Brexit going forward. They are going to pillar human rights and a European Court of Human Rights and the press all the way to the next election, and they'll have the referendum on stripping you of your human rights. Will the English buy it? Will the English vote to leave the European Court of Human Rights? They voted to leave Europe. They voted for Brexit. So there's no guarantees here, folks. None. Anyway, are you yes yet? Because if you're no, you're already a second-class citizen in your own land, where your democratic rights have been denied, where you're ignored and marginalised. Huh? Oh dear. Are you going to let them come for your human rights, Scots? Well, we'll see what happens. But that's their next Brexit, folks. That's their next referendum and their next big campaign. And they have the AI and all sorts of money to be able to throw the sort of shit they threw at the English people during the Brexit debate. And I could see them doing it all over again. So I could. There I am, the little island like Mauritius got independence. It's a drop in the ocean. Right, where are we? The record goes on. I don't know if I put this one up. I don't think so. I'm not that keen on the rancid. Nah, didn't they? Didn't think I would. Anyway, the record that goes on Blow My House to Feck. Obviously the U in the feck has been deleted out in the newspaper headlines. But apparently, that under the proceed of crimes, the Iceman, Jamie Stevenson, who's just been convicted for 20 years for trying to smuggle 76 million quid worth of cocaine into the UK in consignments of bananas, had his house burnt down so that the Crown couldn't take it and sell it. So, and apparently the arsonist who he got to burn the house down said it went up like a candle. Charmer, the Looney Rag the Express, the right wing Looney Rag the Express, it asks, will anyone dare to fill the dangerous void left by the Iceman Jamie Stevenson? And the answer to that express is, it's already been done. It's already been done. Right. Because that's the way it is. The Herald says, sex offenders freed before completing a rehab. Apparently 158 medium to high risk sex offenders have been released before they had completed the mandatory rehab scheme that was put in place apparently in 2014, updated in 2019. Now, why were these people released? It doesn't say. The article doesn't say. Probably they've come to the end of their jail term. Can't keep somebody in jail just because they haven't finished their course. You can encourage them to continue the course once they're out. You can't keep people in jail. Time served, time served. But as I say, it doesn't say why these people were released. Right, the Metro tells us that 1 in 5 young women claim to have be feeling unwell, and that we have a mental health crisis on our hands. Now, I don't know much about this stuff. Sarah has had some problems down through the years that we've dealt with. I can't claim to know about anything about this stuff apart from Sarah's particular condition. But it would seem to me that a lot of the problems that we have in society, especially in the young, is the pressure of this 24-hour social media carry on. Maybe they should get off their bloody phones now and again and go and play. You know? But apparently we have a mental health epidemic. And that 1 in 5 women are not quite feeling right. As I say, I think social media has got a big part there. The pressure that 24-hour society might have something else to do with it as well. But what we do know is we don't have the health professionals to deal with it. So it goes. And the Sun, that goes to another entertainment story. The Sun tells us, excuse me folks, I'm not motoring through this today, but I'm not in the best of form, so I want to get up. The Sun tells us that Flintoff to host Bullseye. Now, I haven't watched television in over a decade, but even I know what Bullseye is, and I know who Flintoff is. I think he was a cricketer. Cricket's not quite my thing. You know, I can watch it if there's no fucking paint drying anywhere that I could watch. Apparently some old-time TV shows making a comeback. For all I know, it might never have went away. I haven't watched the telly in that long. Right, the National has, I'll put this one up. Well, a bit of fun with the National. Where are we? No. Saving that one to last. Here we go. Let me shrink it down. The National goes on. Scots Farm seeks help and bid to take on Big Dairy. So I guess this boy's ready to launch into a bigger scale. ITV swooped for Johnson interview as questions asked over Koonsberg's blunder. Apparently a lot of Koonsberg folks had interviewed Boris Johnson, and apparently because of some emails that were exchanged between them, the BBC has pulled the interview. Now, of course, the big headline is Tories fume as FM attacks Finlay over backing he gave Trust. That'll be First Minister's questions yesterday. And there's also a critique of Russell Finlay's first day at First Minister's questions. He is the branch office manager of the Conservative and Union Party, and it says wooden, scripted, and bloodless. And that's a verdict on the new Tory leader, apparently. He is a bit of a damp squib. He's always been a damp squib. Russell Finlay's a twat. Always has been. But he's a Tory. And they're all twats. You know? Okay. The eye goes on. energy problem, actually. The eye goes on. Stop screen sharing that one. And then give me that one. That's it here. And the eye goes on energy price scare after Biden says Israel could attack oil. Biden said Israel can attack oil. Well, I guess the Americans do have an interest in oil prices. Anyway, oil price soars after US president says he is discussing possible retaliatory strikes on facilities in Iran with Israel. Comments spooked already volatile global markets as fear grow of disruption to the energy supply chain. Okay, so petrol prices are no bad at the moment, actually. My local garage, I can't believe I'm saying 127 a litre is no bad, but compared to where it has been, 127 a litre is no bad. But it looks like it's about to go back up, as Biden is about to, in conjunction with Israel, disrupt this global supply chain. No doubt they're doing that for America's benefit, because they're a big oil exporter. Okay, what's the star goat for us today? What's the star goat for us today? No doubt it's something absolutely bloody nuts. Here we go. Oh, this is a good one. One of the most powerful sun burps for years will hit Earth tomorrow. Brace yourself, Bessie. Huge solar flare could send phones and Wi-Fi bonkers. I pound for every time I heard this. So far I haven't had a power cut. My Wi-Fi's shite anyway, because I live in a rural area. So I don't need to worry about disruption. But apparently some wee woman called Bessie is going to have to worry about disruption. I take it her tech must be crap, wee Bessie, because she's going to have to worry about disruption for a solar flare tomorrow. I guess we'll keep an eye on our mobile devices and see if we get any disruption to service tomorrow. But you've got to love a star. The star always makes me smile, doesn't it? So for once, the UK does the right thing, sort of, and returns lands it stole in 1801 and cleared in the late 1960s and 70s to the people who should be the sovereign inhabitants, except for one island. And believe it or not, that was the only one that was fucking inhabitable. Well, that was the only one that was inhabited. Ah well, way it goes, but it is the right thing to do. Now, of course, some of the other loony rags, which I haven't covered, were asking, what's the story with the Falklands and what's the story with Gibraltar here? Well, these are matters for the international courts and the people who live there. The problem with the people who live in Gibraltar and the Falklands is they're not indigenous to these places. So when you ask where they want their sovereignty lie, they tend to say the UK, because that's where their descendants come from. There he goes. But to say for once, the UK government does something right. Now, if they don't just respect your fucking right to self-determination, your democracy, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Right, folks, that's it for this week. I'm not intending and covered Saturday and Sunday's papers, sorry. But be back Monday to do it all again, twice. Okay, look after yourselves. Have a nice weekend. I'm going to go and feed the cat and then pick the dragon up for work. Sorry, Madam Director. Up to work and then go bloody shopping. No feeling up to it today, folks. No feeling up to it at all. Hope this clears up shortly. Look after yourselves. Have a nice weekend. Thanks to the moderators, thanks to anybody who's made a contribution to the food bank fund this week. Please hit the share, please hit the like button, and if you're on YouTube and you're not subscribed, please subscribe.